Hey guys, I'm Melissa with StageBuddy.com, about to introduce you to a unique instrumental group known as Tauk. This New Year group has been quickly gaining a fan base at all the major music festivals like Bonnaroo and the Allman Brothers Peach Festival, and they're going to be heading to the studio to write their third album. So if you thought that instrumental groups didn't have much of a place in today's music scene, think again. These guys rock. Check it out. You guys are an instrumental band. What's usually the first reaction you get from fans?
They're like, where's the words? But yeah, we play instrumental music. And yeah, it's kind of something you have to hear for yourself to understand, I guess.
What are you gaining by not having a singer, and what are you sacrificing?
We've all been playing our instruments for a very long time, and so it kind of gives us the freedom to utilize that a little bit more and to take it in a different direction than would usually be the case if it was a more typical rock band with like a verse chorus kind of layout. So it kind of opens the door to some new musical territory for us.
I think what we're sacrificing is the diva. And most singers, not to say that all singers are divas, but it takes away sometimes from the musical aspect, because from a crowd's point of view, they automatically go to the lead singer.
At the same time, being an instrumental band allows you to have your own identity, but we can also work with different voices, whether it be another instrumentalist, like a saxophone player or whatever, or even other singers, but we can still have our own, iconic sound.
And where does an instrumental song come from? What's the inspiration?
To me, it's everything. Just walking down the street, you hear something in your head, you can like, oh, I want to play that, or I hear that, or just getting in a room of not being with each other for a long time and just like, let's just jam out and see what happens. And like, that's where some of the magic happens for me, because it's not something that said, all right, you play this, you play this, you play that. It's literally just express yourself, and that's the best part about it, I think.
People think your fan base is kind of limited to either, the older crowd or maybe people who have the background in music.
There's a lot of kids listening to a lot more instrumental music. Look at, the rise of dubstep or some of those other EDM kind of oriented music. So it's just like, there's definitely a place for a band like us to definitely dabble into that demographic.
I know you've been on some pretty big festivals like Bonnaroo and the Allman Brothers Peach Fur.
It's great to be on those festivals. You kind of get to meet a lot of, artists who are in your market, people who are playing in your demographic, and it's good to see what they're doing for themselves and their business and like their art.
And you guys have your own album, Pull Factors and Humunculus. So could you walk us through the process?
It was kind of a mix of, we went into the studio with a bunch of material that we already had set and that we knew we wanted to get, and we also had some looser ideas that were just kind of like a groove or a melody, and we would kind of just experiment a little bit. So there's definitely a good mix on the album of songs that had been played before going into the studio and songs that were also written throughout the process.
You guys have some exciting things happening in the next 6 months. What could we look forward to?
Finishing out this year, there's some big shows we're looking forward to. December 28th, we're playing the Phish after party at Sullivan Hall.
So what was the reaction when you guys were invited to Phish after parties? I mean, they're huge.
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, you just know that's going to be a great night.
If you guys could go back to any decade and be any musician, any decade, it could be like King Tut if you wanted to go that far back, but who would you be and why?
I don't know, maybe Bach, because that's just such a change of pace from today.
You set the bar up here, guys.
I'd say Coltrane. I'd say Coltrane. Well, based on just like, his story and who he is and, what he had his music, be capable of.
I feel like I'd have to go Prince. Just because of that age of the music, that when he was, it's very fabulous.
Isaac and the Revolution.
So I want to thank Tauk for meeting with us for this interview. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
To check out their show and more listings, head to StageBuddy.com. Thanks for watching.